and this productivity increase contributed to more than the total growth in GDP over the 3-year period. Now, of course, that is in line, and of course there are massive engagements that are being done to ensure that this is capped. Now, like I remember, I told you that for the minimum wage aspect in Uganda, the greatest fear lies in terms of protecting the foreign investors, in terms of offering favorable costs of production on their side. Now, of course, taking a look at Uganda labor force by education attainment, because we know that, of course, there is a belief that the education levels are contributing to the wage distribution in this country. Now, the trends in the level of education attainment by Uganda's labor force over time indicate that the overall march of workforce in 2021 was dominated by the workers who had not completed, that is, the primary education. Now, followed by those who completed primary education and those who attained some primary education but did not complete secondary education at 29% and 28% and 16% respectively. Now, of course, concerning the education level of persons in employment, of course, the findings from the report highlight that these semi-skilled occupations included workers in services, sales, skilled agricultural workers, forestry, talking about fishery workers, craft and related trades, and related trade workers, plant machine operators, talking about assemblers and elementary occupations, and also talking about persons who attained some primary education and some secondary education, and those were majority of the people that were into these category. Now, of course, on the qualifications or what we can talk about qualification or skilled labor, skilled nature of the labor force, the 2021 report reveals that most unemployed persons have some secondary and completed the secondary education and post-secondary plus education, with the unemployment rate at about 13%, 17.5% and 11.4% in these categories respectively. Now, of course, getting to note that the lowest unemployment rate at 9.1% among the illiterate indicates an existing structural problem. Now, the illiterate find alternatives and are self-employed, that is compared to the semi and the literate persons who wait in the hope of being absorbed in the formal employment, that is immediately they get done to school. Now, of course, the mismatch between the level of skills, qualifications, supply, and the demand of labor is a structure challenge in the Uganda's labor force market that needs to be resolved, according to the report. Now, of course, for example, a good example is that the majority employed in agriculture are uneducated, while the production employs more persons who are overeducated for the jobs they hold. Now, of course, the labor force statistics clearly reveal that 36.1% of the labor force and 19.8% of the unemployed people in Uganda have less than primary education and are illiterate. And now the disharmony between the job seekers' qualifications and labor market demand is another indicator of this specific situation. Now, of course, investing in human capital development cannot be something that is overstated. The education sector accounts for approximately 51.8% of the HCD program allocation. Now, specifically, we see that investments in education and training account for about 15.2%, 18% of the total education sector allocation. Now, seeing that Uganda's education and training sector benefits from 10.5% budgetary allocation, which is way above the Belém framework of action of the 2009 commitments. Now, under this framework, Uganda agreed to improve the adult participation, inclusion, and equity and quality. And also, government is committed at investing at least 6% of its gross national product in education, with an increasing share allocated to adult learning and teaching at the same time. Now, of course, for the policies such as the National Adult Literacy Policy, Integrated Community Learning with Wealth Creation Program, the Jobs and Livelihood Integrated, the Response Plan, and of course the Education Response Plan for the refugees and host communities, the Technical Vocational Training Policy, the Persons with Disabilities Act. So all these were really put into quite a very big perspective. Well, exactly 28 minutes past 7 at this particular time. Let me get a short break. Of course, we shall be returning and take a look at what's happening in East Africa and the entire world at large. Stick around.